Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great week so far. I'm having a great week because England won their last 16 match and I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing them play in the quarterfinals on Saturday. But this video is not about football. What I actually wanted to discuss today was Occam's razor, which as a scientist is one of the most important principles I think we can use. But it's not just about science, it can be used very effectively in our daily lives too. What is Occam's razor? Well, fundamentally, it speaks to the following, that you should use, to explain a phenomenon, you should use the minimum number of assumptions possible. Sometimes this is passed to the simplest solution is the best. That's not strictly correct. The simplest solution isn't always the best. It's the one with the fewest number of assumptions underlying it. The reason I'm thinking about Occam's razor this week is because of the recent report that was declassified from the American government on what they call UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena, which was awaited with great anticipation by UFO watchers and alien enthusiasts for potential evidence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. Well, the spoiler is that there is no evidence. In fact, aliens weren't even mentioned in that report. I think of the 140 or so UAPs that were discussed in that report, only one of them really had an explanation, which was a balloon, but the report emphasizes that pretty much all of them should have a natural or man-made explanation, whether that be atmospheric disturbances or perhaps drones from another country, etc, etc, etc. Aliens on Earth and UFOs are the perfect example of the use of Occam's razor. What is more likely? What involves fewer assumptions? That a highly advanced alien civilization sent down its aircraft to Earth to hover around, not properly evade detection, make no contact, do nothing of consequence on the planet, and then remain hidden, perhaps in some cases for many, many years, or that it's a natural phenomenon that wasn't interpreted correctly at the time. Clearly, it's the second one of those explanations. And Occam's razor can be used on many conspiracy theories or seeming paradoxes that are very popular with the general public. Another example is there's a guy on TikTok who claims to be a time traveler. Now clearly, to be a time traveler would involve a huge number of assumptions and the breaking of many, many physical laws which prohibit a body of his size being an actual time traveler. So to be honest, it's not really necessary for him to provide evidence that he is a time traveler because it just isn't possible. The most likely explanation is that he's turning up to places in the early morning when nobody's about, or he's using video editing software to remove people from his scenes. Another very famous example in an area close to my heart, which is animal behavior. There was a very famous horse that supposedly could do arithmetic. Someone would ask him a mathematical question, and then when his owner counted up the correct answer, it would tap its hoof or do something like that. And people thought this was amazing, a horse that can do arithmetic. But a simple application of Occam's razor would tell you that that is a highly improbable phenomenon. There is no reason a horse would have evolved the ability to do mathematical problems. In fact, what was happening is that the horse's owner was giving off subtle body signals, so that when the right answer was called out, there would be a slight twitch of the face or a stiffening of the body from the owner, completely unintentional. The owner wasn't doing it deliberately, and the horse was picking up on that and responding to that signal rather than the mathematical equation. When the owner was removed from the room, the horse did not perform at all well. Other examples abound. There's a very popular series of videos on Douyin about, for example, dogs saying "Hi mama" or other such human words. Again, what's the more likely explanation? That dogs who have no evolutionary need to do this have learnt human language and are parroting it back to us with meaning, or simply that the dog has a bark that the very far more developed human brain has learnt or simply interprets as human language. Again, clearly it's the second one of those things. So these are a few very common examples where Occam's razor is very helpful to subvert what on the face of it is something that might be readily believable. What I'd say to all of you is that the principle of Occam's razor should be something that is deeply embedded in your own thinking, because it can help you with your work, it can help you with your relationships, and it can help you interpreting the world around you. Ask yourself next time you're asked to believe something, what is the explanation that uses the lowest number and most readily attainable number of assumptions? And this will stop you getting fooled or misinterpreting situations.